Good morning, everybody. Our next guest is the always vibrant and very energetic raw food gourmet chef, Kirstin Gum. Kirstin is a graduate of the Living Life Culinary Academy. She comes to us from the mecca of a very healthy living down in Southern California, the town of Santa Monica, where she's on a mission to live a kinder, gentler, more sustainable lifestyle. She's determined to help heal this world as well as our society. She's an avid environmentalist, she's an athlete, and a health nut who's always been interested in very clean living. She became obsessed with raw foods after traveling the world as a television personality and journalist. Kirstin realized Americans were just simply too fat, way unhealthy, and needed to change their over-consuming and over-processed lives. She currently has her own hit TV show on the Travel Channel. It's called The Treasure Hunter. And she's working on developing a lifestyle TV show which will introduce the raw foods to the mainstream community. Please help me giving a very warm welcome to Kirstin Gum.
Thank you. Thank you. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? Don't worry about answering if you don't know how that is. I'm just trying to say hi and hello in Japanese, and I thought it was appropriate for this afternoon because my recipe that I'm going to demonstrate for you, my creation, is Asian inspired. It's the coconut hoisin glazed tropical dessert gyozas. Now I've kind of wanted to lose the dessert gyoza, like lose the dessert, because I figured you can eat them anytime. I was eating them with tea for breakfast just yesterday, and they're still way good. Now, a lot of you probably don't know what a gyoza is. A gyoza traditionally is a meat-filled dumpling. Sometimes they're called pot stickers, sometimes they're called Chinese dumplings. It's usually meat or vegetable filled, and it's filled in a thinly rolled dough. And then it is boiled, steamed, or pan-fried. It's done a variety of ways most of the time. I've seen them pan-fried where you have one side that's really brown. Traditionally, it is a very time-consuming recipe, but I'm going to show you how my recipe, my raw recipe, is simple, fast. It's going to impress all your friends, because I don't know about your friends, but mine are kind of done with the collard wraps. They're not impressed with the collard wraps anymore. This is a step up. This is gourmet. This is sophistication. So this is what you want to show your friends, that you can do everything. I was inspired by this during a class right here at Living Light. It was an ethnic cuisine, and I was inspired by two different things. One, I fully admit I have a sweet tooth. I love sweets. So I wanted to do something sweet, and most of my classmates know that too. And my other thing that I was inspired by is that I like to eat with my hands. I work for the Travel Channel. I'm an on-the-go person, and I like to grab and go. And so I'm currently trying to work on a lot of different snacks because I snack throughout the day. Before I get right into my recipe, I want to introduce my wonderful assistant, Jan Zer. Jan and I met each other in October when we first came here, and we've been friends ever since, and we're actually starting a company together called rawtrips.com. It's going to be up where we're going to take raw tours around the world. Yes, and I'm getting certified as a yoga instructor as well, so we're going to not only teach you about raw foods, we're going to take you to different raw food restaurants around the world, and we're just going to have some fun and travel, because that's what it's all about. And when you're healthy and you're energetic, you want to do things. You're ready to go and climb this mountain and raft down this and do some yoga and shop and yada, yada, yada. So yes. So let's get started first. I want to go through the recipe. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make what would be traditionally the thinly rolled dough, and it's going to be a coconut wrap. Super simple. You're going to see how this lovely thing can turn into just a pliable, lovely wrap that's very, very durable. Then we are going to do the fruit filling, which is a tamarind base. Tamarind is a fruit. It comes originally from Africa. I'm going to tell you about that. It's actually what these little pods are. I had someone ask me about these. Little pods, tamarind. It also has pineapple in it, papaya, and mango. We have a little bit of agave, and we're going to have some raisins in there for mouthfeel. Since I've gone raw, I'm really into texture and mouthfeel. So the raisins are we're going to put raisins in there. And then, of course, we're going to have some grated ginger, because I love ginger. And then we're going to, if we have time, do a hoisin sauce, which is what we're going to use to glaze the wraps and give them almost a cooked look, believe it or not. So let's get started. Who likes coconut? Yes, yes, everybody likes coconut. I'm obsessed with coconut. I love the coconut meat. I love the coconut water. I like talking about Thai coconuts. And they are basically called the tree of life. The coconut palm tree is considered, in Sanskrit, it's kalpa vrishka, which means tree of life, because every part of the coconut palm tree can be used for something. So if you find yourself stranded on a deserted island, you want to make sure you have a nice, mature, producing coconut tree, because that will give you food and water, and you can survive without anything else. Even sunscreen, some people say. I'm not going to go there yet. Coconut is actually a seed. It is not a nut, so a lot of people get that confused. It's the largest seed known to man, and it gets its name from the Latin and Portuguese explorers who thought that it looked like a monkey face. Coco is their word, and coco in Portuguese means monkey face. And what they did is when they saw a real coconut, they saw the 3 indentions on the bottom, and they thought it looked like a monkey face. I kind of see it. I'm not sure if you see it, but that's how it got its name. And just coincidentally, just for your knowledge, these 3 indentions, when the coconut's floating around in the water, it falls off the tree, and it's in the sand, this is how it gives life. 2 of these go in and make roots for the tree, and 1 pops up and is the tree. Just so you know, in case your friends want to know. So this is a mature coconut also. This is what a coconut looks like with the husk on. I'm a little worried that 6 and 7-year-olds think that coconuts come off trees like this, because this is what you see in the store right now. So this you do not want to use, though, because it's got a lot of mature meat in it, and it doesn't have a lot of coconut water. It's great for what they call copra, which is they'll slice open the coconut, and they'll let it sun dry, and that's what they actually make coconut oil out of. They can also press it to make coconut milk. Coconut milk is not made by coconut water and coconut meat. Okay. I know if we all love coconut, we've all had some frustrations with opening a coconut, right? I'm going to tell you the easiest ones. I've tried everything, and I was actually very scared of a coconut when I first started coming to school here. I mean, I was like, I don't want to do it, and the easiest way to do it is you want to get the fibrous husk off first. It's called coir, C-O-I-R, and its purpose is there to cushion the seed when that seed comes falling down from the tree. But that's what holds it all together, and that's what can be very frustrating. So you pick your choice. I've got a nice big knife here that is the easiest way for me to take it off. You're just going to stick it on your side, right like this, and you just want to slice. And get really womanly with it. I'm not going to say manly, but, you know, show it who's boss. It always helps for me to, like, make some faces. Yeah. It's a good workout, too. All right. You want to get all that off. I usually try to get this out. My cats love to watch me do this. They'll sit for hours and watch me do this. And then I usually take a nice cleaver, something heavy, and I'm going to use just the bottom of it to crack it open. And once you crack that seed open, it's so much easier to get in there. That's what you need to do. I'm not going to talk while I do this because this is not my best skill. And I'll just tell you that. But I still like doing it. Yeah. There it is. So there's quite a few different ways you can do it. I like to open it a little bit, and then I like to try to drain some of the water out of it. Coconut water is obscenely good. You know, before I even went raw, I knew about coconut water. I was doing my show, which is a treasure hunting show, and we were down in Brazil, and I was in a mine, and it was like 115 degrees, and in my guide's terrible English and my terrible Portuguese, I was trying to tell him, like, I'm going to pass out here. Like, I need a break. He handed me a coconut. And he basically told me that it was Mother's Gatorade, and he's exactly right. It has all your electrolytes in it. It is so good for all your minerals, and it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. Now that we got that out, I usually get about a cup to a cup and a half. I don't know. What do you guys get out of it? About a cup and a half, something like that. Please ask questions, too. We're all friends here. Don't be shy about asking questions till the end. That's not how I work. It's not how I roll. And then did you see how easy that was? Once you get it open and you can get the juices out, then you can just shove it through. If you've got a lot of muscle, you can actually turn it on its side like this and do it this way. Matt Samuelson, who is a great friend and a good chef, and he's the head chef here, he can do it that way, and he makes it look wonderful. I'm not necessarily that strong yet. So the recipe calls for 5 cups to make this coconut cream. For our purposes, because we've done a lot so that you guys can eat, we're only going to do a half. So we're going to do 2.5 cups here. And I have this lovely, handy, dandy little spatula. It is wonderful. My friend Brenda Hinton, just brought it for me. Where did you find this, Brenda? At a kitchen store, and she can take orders. This thing it's rock solid. It's nice. It's the perfect size for coconuts. So you just want to put it in there, and you just kind of go around. Nice and easy. Sometimes you get some of this off. I don't really worry about this. Aesthetically, you can take it off. This is not part of the husk. It's just kind of like a little bit of color, a little bit of skin. I'll take it off for you guys, or at least try to get a little bit off. But honestly, once we put it up into coconut cream, you're not going to see it a lot. Yeah, you got to watch the heavy barks, because I have had that before, and that's no fun to bite into, and you're like, oh, what is that? What is that? All right. Let's take some of this off. And then, real easy, I've seen a lot of people do it a lot of different ways, but I usually just go right in between the coconut meat and the husk, and then you just shove down. I don't know if you can see that, and then you just go around. And out it comes. And I've seen in school, there were some wonderful students that could get it actually to come out all in one ball. I've never been able to do that. It's just, yes? Yes, I use that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should see, I have that one that comes with the Vitamix. I absolutely love it. I'm not using mine because it looks horrible because I've used it so much and it's kind of stained. And no, it's like this. It's very, very thin. It's so much easier than your typical spatula like this. All right, let's get all this out. Get some of these pieces off. Jan, do you want to kind of go through that a little bit? Get some more out of there. This is one of those monotonous things to do. When I get coconuts, I usually do a whole case at a time. Coconut meat freezes really well. I wouldn't freeze the coconut cream. I'd actually freeze the coconut meat, and then you can de-thaw it and blend it up in the blender. But I usually go through a case. And I don't know about you guys, but in Santa Monica, I got a great deal where I have someone deliver a case to my house, and he charges me $14. Here at Harvest Market, I paid $21 for 9 coconuts. But you can find ways. If you go to the Chinese markets or the Korean markets, you can find people. And you know, if you can get it delivered to your house, I worked something out. He knows I'm a raw chef, and I give him kale chips. It's all good. Bartering is the way these days, right? It is the way. Okay, So as you see in the recipe, coconut cream is simply coconut and a little bit of salt. And for these purposes, because the filling is so sweet, I add just a little extra salt because I'm all about that flavor balancing. That's what it's all about, right? And if you don't have, if the meat seems a little rough and a little thick, just put a little coconut water in. And this one looks a little dry to me. I'm just going to pour just a tad bit in there. And then this is going to get really loud. I don't know if you guys know Vitamix. If I could carry this in my back pocket, I would. I absolutely love it. It's worth every penny. I grind dry goods in it. I do soups. I do juices. I mean, I use it probably 3 times a day, every single day. And it's because it has this variable. So you can turn it on. You can control the speed. You can take it up into high gear. Absolutely love it. So it's going to get a little loud. I'm going to have to help it through a little bit. So these Vitamix come with a plunger, which is sweet to help out. But you don't want to keep the plunger in there. I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this because it affects the vortex in there, and you need that vortex. So I'm going to take it up slowly and do some jabbing in this, and then I'm going to throw it up into high gear. And hopefully we'll have some coconut cream. All right, let's make sure that's down. Actually looks like it's going very well. There we go. Got that vortex going. That's on its highest speed. So with coconut cream, can you guys hear me if I talk with this? With coconut cream, I like to run it until it looks silky, silky smooth. Awesome. I love that. Love it. All right. Oh, I hope you guys have the new Vitamix too, because these, I don't know how people did it without these things. All right, so this is what it looks like. I don't know. Teresa, you got me up there. It's nice and smooth. See that? Very nice and smooth. Ooh, and look at that. No, I'm only doing half a batch. This is 2.5. 2.5. All right. So then we're going to put a cup and a quarter to each dehydrator tray. And we all know what a dehydrator is. Anybody? Just tell me if you don't. These are wonderful. I have the one that has a timer because, again, I'm a busy person and I like to go in and out, and I'm quite forgetful. Oh, someone put this on wrong. So I'm going to measure this out here. Oh, that looks so yummy and gooey. You know, coconut does have a lot of fat in it, and I know there's a lot of people that argue with it, but it is a medium chain fat, which means that it's water soluble. It will go to your liver, and your body will convert it to energy more quickly than any other fat. It's like avocado. You know, like anything, you've got to watch portions, whether you're doing raw food or not. Now, one of the other creations for this in ethnic cuisine is I was trying to stay away from nuts. I found myself eating a lot of nuts and was feeling constipated, to tell you the truth. And I just was trying to find some other recipes that weren't going to be nut driven. So this is about a cup. You can do a cup to a cup and a quarter. I don't know, what do you think? Should we do a cup? Let's do a quarter. This is a great little measuring cup. So it has all the measurements on the side, and so that you're not putting it in to measure and then trying to like whip it out, you just pull it up and then you just shove it in. It's called the Metric Wonder Cup, appropriately named, right? I'm gonna do the. Yes, it is. It is. It's just called the metric cup. But you're right. You're right. It is. Okay. And then let's put this out. It's time to spread. And don't worry, it takes some time, but everybody can do it. And the one thing about these wraps is it doesn't have to look perfect like crackers. You don't have to have perfect edges because we're going to cookie cutter them out. 2 offset spatulas, it's your choice what you want to do. I actually like using the smaller one myself. And then it's just like spreading batter on a cake. I mean, frosting on a cake. Just nice and spread it out. And you want to go fairly thin. I mean, it's up to you. Because I like the delicateness of this recipe, I like them very thin. And because they're so high in fat, when they dehydrate, they become very pliable. And they stick together quite well. All right. How are we doing on time here? 12:15. All right. Here we go. I'm going to actually give Jan this, and she's going to finish spreading. But you want to take it pretty far to the edges. And then this is going to go in the dehydrator at 105 for about 3 hours. And you want to have it, you're going to, as you saw, we put it on a Teflex sheet. So when it comes out from the dehydrator after 3 hours, it's going to look like this. Okay? You see how thin that is? And it can be a little scary when you're like, oh, I have to turn this thing over? Are you kidding me? You just want to start at the edge. And don't, again, worry, in this case, don't worry if it cracks a little or it rips a little, because we're going to use a cookie cutter to actually cut out the gyozas in a circular form. So I usually start at the edge, and then I take this offset spatula, and you just kind of start shoving. I use this nice little motion. See that? I'm not going to worry about that side right there. I usually start one side off. There we go. And then I usually flip it over onto the dehydrator and then just peel back. I've got a little part there. That was that one edge. Voila. Look how easy that is. Don't be scared. It's so super easy. Can I hand that to you? And then this is going to go back into the dehydrator. I'm going to set it right there for now. And, oh, I think, what? Yes, I believe we have one in here. It's already cooking. Yes, so after another 2 to 3 hours, it's going to look like this. And that's your coconut wrap. I got to tell you, if you don't have a timer and you run away and it goes on forever and ever and you pull it out and it's dry and brittle and you're like, oh crap, don't worry. These things, you can spray them with water and they go right back to being pliable. Just spray them with water, turn them over, spray them with water a little bit, relax, chill out, walk away, take a deep breath, and come back. A good note is if you want to store them, you want to dry them out completely. If you dry them out completely and you want to store them in the fridge, they can go up to like 2, almost 3 weeks. And then when you're ready to use them, you pull them out, spray it with water. You can actually put them in the dehydrator a little bit just to get the warmth going. Okay, so here we have our coconut wrap. And I love coconut. Oh yeah, so here, look, nice job, Jan. That's why Jan's an assistant. Look at that, beautiful. And you see it's a tad bit uneven, but no worries, because look what it comes out to. You know, a little before and after. Stick that back in there. Okay, for our gyozas, we're going to use a cookie cutter. I've used all sorts of things. It depends how big you want them. This was about the size. At home, this is from here at school. At home, I actually use a little bit bigger one. And then we're just going to cookie cutter. Sometimes it goes through, and sometimes it doesn't. You just kind of turn it a little bit. Yeah, look at that one. If it doesn't go through, you can always, yeah, boy, I should have sharpened those. You can always trace it, just like you were in kindergarten. Trace around the edges. And there you go. Part one's done. Part one's done. So I'm going to hand this to you, Jan, if you can take that, and you will continue to chop those out, and we'll get going on our inside. So let's put this back here. Deal with that later. The school's going to love us because they have more coconut wraps than they could ever think of. Students don't have to do it. All right, so we're going to start on the fruit filling, which is a tamarind base. I don't know if a lot of people know what tamarind is. I sure didn't. Yeah, so it's used, you can find it a lot in Asian markets and Latin markets, and I have a great Indian market next to me, and they're wonderful about it. Tamarind is a fruit. It's originally from Africa, and it grows on big trees, and these trees are like weeds. They can grow up to 80 feet tall in just a matter of years. And it comes in a pod. This is what tamarind, the fruit, looks like. Comes in a pod. Believe it or not, from seed to ripe pod takes 245 days. Yeah, crazy. But when they're ready and they're ripe, the actual shell will be brittle. And inside is the pulp, and the pulp is what we are after. And there's also some seeds in there. I'm going to pass this along. Suzanne, can I just hand this to you? Or thank you. How about you guys? Do you want one on your side? Anyone? You want to hand it? Why don't you take one to one side? You guys can just feel it and just feel that pulp, because I had always seen it come in a jar, which is what I used today, was tamarind paste in a jar. Isn't that crazy? Let me tell you a little story. So it's beautiful, right? We all love to cook and prep. I'm just going to warn you, if you get it this way, it's very labor intensive, because getting those dang little seeds out of that pulp and making sure that none of this is on, none of the outside pod is on, is labor intensive. You can do it. You get all that together to make it into a paste. You have to kind of add some warm water, and you put it through a sieve, and sometimes use a milk bag. I mean, I tried all different kinds. And then I realized that my Indian market just had many varieties. This is another way you can see it. It says tamarind seedless. Looks like this. This I've tried. And I'm going to pass this around as well. It says it's seedless, but there were so many seeds in it, and there were so many little nasty little, I don't even know what they were, that were around the seeds, that again, it was very, very labor intensive. I'm going to throw it to you here. There you go. All right, so it's your choice, but I go with the tamarind paste. Yeah?
I got the tamarind paste on Amazon.com.
Awesome.
They sent me 6 packages of smooth paste, and anything like $2 for a package of this.
That's brilliant.
It was great.
What was the product called?
No, I think it was from White House, but I just went. It's called tamarind paste.
I'm gonna give you one of my cards, and I need that because I love tamarind. I love the flavor of tamarind. It's very tangy, very, very sour. It's full of it's very acid based, and it's very high in calcium. It's very high in vitamin B, and it just adds a little ping to any dish that you have, depending on how much that you want to use it. It's used in a lot of Indian dishes, and don't think it has to be just for fruit. It can be used with savory dishes as well. So here is my tamarind paste, and I have half, where is the spatula here? Half a cup of tamarind paste. I'm going to put the tamarind in here. Oops, Teresa's going to kill me. There. Does it say 1.5 in that? That's a misprint. We're only going to do half cups. We're only going to do half cups in all of it. So it's a half cup tamarind paste. We're going to do a half cup diced pineapple, a half cup diced mangoes, and a half cup diced papaya. Someone else said that it may be a cup and a half, but that is a misprint. Then we have 2 tablespoons agave. Agave is a sweetener that we use all so much. Everybody here I know knows agave. So we're going to pour the agave in. Wow, 2 tablespoons. I should have double checked that. No, I'm not on this one. This is the full recipe. And then we're going to add ginger, and I just love ginger. It's peppery, it's pungent, it's spicy. It's going to add that, again, flavor balance to the dish. So we have the sweet and sour, we have the high notes, we've got all the vitamin C and the sweet. We need a little spice. And this is one of my favorite tricks. We need 2 tablespoons. I'm going to do that with a microplane. How many of you guys have had a hard time getting that skin off? And then when you microplane it, then it all jumps up on you, and you're just like, that's not what I want. Easiest trick that I've learned was you take a spoon, and it just comes right off. Look at that. Just comes right off. It's just like peeling a potato. It's so simple. You don't have to get all of it off because we're going to microplane, but boy, sure helps. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right. Put all that over there. And then I'm going to, let's get some of that. Where do I get my what? My friend Jan. Where did you get it, Jan?
I got it from,
Get on in there, girlfriend.
I think it's Edible Aprons or
Edible aprons. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Edible Aprons. Yes.
Yes. That's the one you got? Boy, I had bad luck with it. So I don't. No. I had so many seeds in it. It says seedless, but that was a day of frustration and a bottle of red wine by the end of it. I'm not kidding. All right. Whoa. Wow. Okay. So,
2 tablespoons?
yes, do 2 tablespoons. And I mix the agave, the ginger, and the tamarind together before I mix it with the fruit. So let's get, I know we're running a little late here. All right, pineapple. Best way to tell if a pineapple is ripe? If it comes out, it's ripe. I've also seen people smell the bottom. A lot of the sugars go down to the bottom, so that's also a very good indication. Let me take this organic off. Okay. Easiest way to cut a pineapple, you cut the top off, you cut the bottom off. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Let's cut a little bit more of the bottom off. And then you just go around the edges, and you want to get all the eyelets off. I felt for a while that it was a big waste to cut pineapple, but it really isn't. Because there's a lot to be had, and honestly, those little eyelets are not nice to bite into at all. So you just go around the edges. Did you know that the pineapple is actually one of America's favorite tropical fruit, but it loses number 1 to, anybody have a guess? Bananas. Bananas are America's favorite tropical fruit. Okay, so we got a couple more. I'm going to cut these off. And then, I think that looks pretty good. Let me get that. And then what I like to do is I like to halve it, and then I quarter it, and then I try to get that core off. And I go down like this. Get that core out of there. I actually chew on the core. But most people don't, because it has, the one thing that pineapples really have is bromelain. It's an enzyme that helps digest protein, and it helps your digestion. Bromelain can be, you know, if you get too much of it, it can start to make your tongue sting and stuff. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. Another way you can do this is instead of just doing it that way, if you want to, you can core it this way. You can use an apple core too if you want to. You just do a little triangle down the middle. Get that core out there. All right, so we need a 1/2 cup. And I usually cut on the side first. Oops, that one has the core in it. That would help. Cut down the side, because we need to dice these because our gyozas are really quite small. Slippery. And it helps to have a very, very sharp knife. And then once I get that, I just go through here. You get the point, right? And then you just go the opposite way and you dice them up. Jan, I'm going to pass this over to you so you can finish up this. It's not working? There you go.
Ginger's not very good.
Uh-oh. All right, let me grab. Yeah, we've got 15 minutes to get this going, huh? So, mangoes. This has got to be the sexiest fruit in the world to me. I just love it. It's sweet, it's sultry, it's tantalizing, it's got that punch. I just love it. I never, ever liked cutting it because I was always like, God, that dang seed always gets in the way. Seriously, it's quite easy. You just go down the side of the seed, go a little off the center, and then you just turn it around and go a little off the center. I need to sharpen my knife here. And then to dice this, the easiest thing I do, because I know I want it diced, is I just keep it, you can either hold it in your hand if you want to, and I keep it in the skin just like an avocado. If you guys, how many of you done avocados like this? You can just go through. You can make them as big as you want to. There's a couple different ways. I know some people who peel the mango. Again, mango's really high in vitamin C. It's actually called the fruit of the gods, but I like to say it's the fruit of the goddesses because we love it. It makes us beautiful. It's high in vitamin C, and it's also high in vitamin A, so it's healthy for the skin and the hair and the fingernails. Oh, this one I might have gone too far. I'm dicing around this way. And then I kind of went a little too far on this, but it's supposed to be, you should be able to pull it all the way out into what I call a mango flower, like that. And once you flatten it out, you can just go and slice it. You can just slice it off. This has got some yucky thing. I've never even seen that in there. You see that? That's gross. But we're looking for a 1/2 cup of mangoes. I'm going to just put it in here. I know we have a 1/2 cup back there. And then when I'm at home, I usually just peel this off. Again, I'm telling you guys all my things. You probably will never want to come to my house. Judita's been to my house. I peel this off, and then I kind of snack on it because I just love mangoes so much, and I can't throw it away. I can't throw it. So I just chew on the seed. You know, it's not pretty, but no one's, you know, at my house watching me. Because look, there's so much more left there. I won't do it now. Later. Later. Anybody can have the seed. That'll be later. That'll be later. Okay, on to a papaya. Who likes papaya? Who likes papaya more than mango? Yeah, see, it's only a couple of you. Only a couple of you. It's weird. It always plays second fiddle to mango. But you know, it actually has a better mouthfeel. It's a smoother texture, and it doesn't have as much of a bite. For papayas, I do peel them. So you just want to peel them any which way you want. Really? We got the worst ginger in the world, huh? Over there. All right. 10 minutes. Sorry, they have us on a very strict thing, and I get talking and... All right. So we're going to peel the papaya all the way. For time, we're just going to do it a little bit like this. Open it up, take a spoon. Can I have that spoon? And scoop out the seeds. And then we're going to just dice it up. And let's see, here's a bowl. A lot of people do make dressings out of the seeds, and I did not try it. I did talk with Matt, and Matt said that he said he's tried it before, but just be very sparingly. Do not use all of them. Treat it like black pepper, because if you taste them, and you're more than welcome to come up here and taste them after the demonstration, they've got a big, bitter bite. So it's not really what I like out of my... I see it. Yeah, they're peppery, but I think they're bitter. Dried?
Yeah, dry them out, and then I do grind them like pepper, and usually just pepper.
Do you really? Yeah. That is such a good tip. Thank you. In the like a coffee grinder? All right, and then we're going to dice this up. Does anybody need to see me dice it up? It's basically the same way. Take it on the flat, do 2 or 3 this way, dice it this way, dice it this way. Let's get to making the gyozas, right? All right, so we have a half a cup papaya. Again, you can make a cup and a half if you want to, but then you just need triple the amount of coconut gyozas. All right, all right. So half a cup papaya, half a cup pineapple, mangoes. We have so much food up here. Where did I just put the cup? Did you just take the cup from me?
Nope. It's right over there.
Oh, well, let's use this one, the metric system one. I love this thing. Yeah. Let's stick a bunch in there. I'm one that goes by feel a lot, especially at home. You can put as much as you want in there. And then half a cup raisins. And then you just mix them all together. Bring this over here so you can see it. And the raisins, it looks pretty watery right now, but the raisins will actually absorb a lot of that and plump up the more you have it sit. So I usually make the filling and then cut out the circles. It gives it some time. All right. Oh, great. I got messy girl. Okay, where are the little circles? You got them. Awesome. And here we go. Here are little circles. Look how cute they are. And then you just take a half a teaspoon. I'm going to use a tablespoon right now. And this is kind of where you have to kind of feel it out. But you're just going to take just a little bit of the filling and put it on half. And then you just fold them up. And then just like a traditional gyoza, you want to pinch the edges. Depending how thick your coconut wrapper is, sometimes they're a little bit harder to take. All you want to do is get it to stick just a tad. Yeah, I think I have a little too much filling in there. Got a little overzealous with my filling. Get in there, raisin. A gyoza, look at that. So the last step with this is, and I'm going to do it on here. This is kind of the thing that adds just a little bit of flair here. The last step is I brush it with, I'm just going to stick it on here, hoisin sauce, because I want it to have that cooked appearance. And again, the tamarind is inside and it's very, very tart. The hoisin sauce, which the recipe is in there, is very salty. It's a dipping sauce. And so I just brush it up. Let's do a little bit more here. And then the last little bit for me, this is coconut sugar, which I love, brown coconut sugar. You can get it at any store. And I just take a little pinch. And there you go. Let's put it on the dish. Where's the scooper? Oh! You put it right there. Yeah. And then I put a little hoisin sauce in one for people to dip on. A little wasabi. Yeah, believe it or not, with tropical gyozas. Wonderful. A little wasabi. And then I always like to, if you want to do some of these more, I always like to decorate a little bit. So I like to put my gyozas down one side, put a little mango down the other, because you will have leftover. We've got pineapple here. Just set it up. There we go. And then I'll just put some more down here. And it's really fun. It's almost, it's fun to do with friends because you can just sit and gossip and talk, and it's almost like rolling dolmas, you know? And there you go. That is the coconut hoisin glazed tropical gyozas. There you go. Thank you. Arigato, as I like to say. Any questions? Any questions while I finish this up? Want to take pictures? Let me get this looking good for you here. And I believe the samples are coming out right now. There's a little hoisin sauce and there's a little wasabi in each of them. Yes? Yes, you can. I actually eat it just like snacks. But you can try to stick it, I've tried this before, sticking it in the dehydrator, putting it, dipping it in a sauce like hoisin glazed. But it's already dehydrated as much as it's going to. So I just use it, I've heard of people putting it in the dehydrator and getting it crispy, and take those leftovers, cut it into strips, and use it as crispy noodles on your salad, which is a good way to do it. Also, another great thing with coconut, if you have leftover coconut meat, you can cut that into any strips that you want. Dip it in, I've done it in teriyaki, I've done it in pesto, I've done it in a sweet chili sauce, stick it in the dehydrator, and it comes out like coconut jerky. And it's fantastic to take on trips. On plane trips, I just sit and eat on it, and everybody's always, I have so many people asking me questions like, what are you eating? I'm like, well, I'm a vegetarian, I eat raw food, and it's a good way to tell people about raw food as well.
Kirstin's cards are up here.
Yes.
Recipes on her website.
Yes, please come up and take a card. I just got my cards printed. I have my website I'm working on. It's called experienceraw.com. And what I'm trying to do is I want people to just experience it. So I have a lot of simple recipes. I also have more in-depth recipes that you can try. You have to click on them and download them. And then also check out Raw Trips. The website is not up yet, but rawtrips.com. Jan Zur and I will be taking people all over the world on raw trips where you get to learn how to cook raw, you get to go eat other raw food all over the world.
Starting in Ecuador.
When are you going to start that?
We're going to start in Ecuador in February.
Oh, in February?
Yeah. Jan has a beautiful guest house down there. We're going to go break it in.
Now, how should we find that website later?
It'll be up within the next couple weeks. It's called rawtrips.com. Yeah. And they're right now, if my friend who's working on my website, he was supposed to have it up today, there should be a form so you can just fill it out, and then we'll get back to you on them. Thank you. Thank you. And then if you want to know anything more about me, I have a website. It's kirstingum.com. I have a show on the Travel Channel, so I'm on that as well. There's emails everywhere. Please email me wherever you got that on Amazon. Yeah, I checked. There is a tamarind concentrate, which is a sauce, which is really powerful. It was too powerful for me. I like the paste better. What do we think? Have you guys tried it? Like it? Ah, thank you. Thank you. Good. I don't know. The website is experienceraw.com. And then we will be doing Raw Trips, which is rawtrips.com as well. Oh yeah, we've got more left. And if anybody wants to come and try a little bit of this, actually try, you can do the brushing yourself if you want to, or she took it all away. So there you go. We have to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for coming for my demonstration, and good luck. Please try this at home and impress all of your friends. And let me know. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, here's some extra, too. Sweet. Thank you, Jan.